Okay, my name is Dumelo. Me, I'm a local. I'm a Sowetan. I was born, bred in Patati in Soweto, in the famous township in the world. And I can say I'm a born free. But the history that I'm just like briefly address to you actually is based on the history of the students and then about Hector Pieterson. So please just follow Dumelo so that he explains to you clearly. And then you said where you from?
I'm from Ghana.
Okay, let me just teach you how we greet each other as Africans.
Okay.
That's symbol of peace.
Yeah.
That's love.
Yeah.
That's happiness. We do like this. Friendship and then one love. All right. I'd like to say welcome to Hector Pieterson Memorial Site. Actually, the outside museum is based again to honor all those youth who gave their life in a struggle for freedom, peace, democracy. So before I'm going to explain to you about Hector Pieterson, you'll find that during the 16th of June 1976, over 15,000 school children, that's when they gathered themselves together, they took part and participated when it comes to the peaceful protest march.
In South Africa.
Here in South Africa, in Soweto, in this township. So you'll find that they never knew that already 300 police, they were waiting for them that corner of the street. And you'll find that in such a short space of time, a lot has been done. Because I'll say after the mist, after everything, after meth, all of the protesters, they were not lost in vain. Because they were fighting for freedom and that democracy. So that corner of the street, one of the police, that's when they draw a line to the student. Say, student, if you're going to jump over this line, you got a license to kill, you should to kill because what you're doing, it's illegal. Then they said to student, we give you 5 minutes to disperse. Student, that's when they refused because they were having also the placards written to hell with Africans. Africans must be demolished. It's an oppressor's language. Then you'll find that police started being angry, started issuing dogs, tear gases. So for the student, others, they're using that old cloth, just pour water so they, hide themselves there on them so that the tear gas can't affect them. Then the only weapon that we use by students is stones to defend themselves. So when find it one dog, it was stoned to death. And it wasn't the intention of the student. Police started being angry. One of the police, when they check upon, they say they saw one dog has been stoned to death. They said one officer down. That means by the time again, they used to say a life of a dog. It was too more precious than a life of a black child. So as they started firing the students.
So were the police all white?
Others they were white, others they were black. You can translate, but by the time it was the apartheid government who was ruling. So Hector Pieterson, let's just go further. Hector Pieterson, on that picture, he became the youngest who got shot. He was a 12-year-old boy, and he didn't know nothing. He didn't know nothing about the gathering of the students because the student leader, by the name of CST machine, and said only high schools and secondary will do that peacefully protest march. So Hector Pieterson, he used to wait for the sister every day. To wait for the sister there that corner. When it comes to after school, the sister can take him, head back home. So he thought maybe the sister is joining the student because it was different type of uniform. School children as they were chanting. So as he jumped through, that's when police started firing. That's when, as the youngest, they say he got a straight bullet on the neck. Then the gentleman who picked up Hector Pieterson on that picture.
Can we go to that picture?
Let's just go. Yeah. Because it's more, this is so much more information about, let me say, the history. Because that gentleman, the history about Mbisa Makuwa. That gentleman, he was carrying Hector Pieterson. Because of the journalist or the photographer by the name of Sam Zima took this picture and published it through the whole wide world. So they thought that gentleman who is carrying Hector Pieterson, he was sort of like a troublemaker or a student leader or an organizer. So he became afraid to save his life. He fled the country, went to the neighboring country, went to Botswana in exile to become a soldier. Lately, the year 1978, it was the last one he heard about Mbisa Makuwa. Because he wrote a letter to the mother and then sent it this side. Yeah, the chest here. And then he said, Mom, don't you worry. I'm now moved to Botswana. I'm now in Nigeria. I've got a scholarship in Nigeria. But then since it disappeared, like even today, we don't know what happened to Mbuyisa Makubu.
The one who was carrying
Who's carrying
Hector.
Hector in here? Because you know me, what I think. Police they were looking for him.
Yeah.
They caught him long ago. He's been like assassinated. They killed him and buried him privately, so we can be silent about this picture.
Yo guys, as you are still watching, it's your boy Life Master, still on the entertainment zone. Today we're knowing more about Soweto, the history about Hector Pieterson and the uprising. It all started here in Soweto. This gentleman here is telling us more about the story, what happened in the year 1976. A schoolboy who got shot by a police. That's the picture there, and that's the sister who are running. So the boy has been shot dead. So yeah, he's still telling us more about the boy who has been shot, carried on the arm. Yeah.
Alright, Hector Pieterson, he's the youngest who was shot at Cornwall Street and Moema Street as there was a clash between police and students against Africans. It was introduced as a minimum of instruction. And he was the youngest. He couldn't know what was happening by the time. So as he got a straight blow to the neck, the gentleman again who picked up Hector, he became a most wanted actually because they thought he was an organizer, a student leader. And then his name is Mbuyisa Makubu. That gentleman, he fled the country, went to the neighboring country, went to Botswana to become a soldier in exile in military. Lately, he wrote a letter to the mother of the year 1978. He said, "Mom, don't you worry. Now I'm now in Nigeria. I'm safe. I've got a scholarship in Nigeria." Then since we don't know what's happened to him, like even today, whether he's still alive or what, police because they were looking for him. They thought he was like a troublemaker. They assassinated him. They caught him long ago, killed him, and buried him private so he can be silent about this famous iconic picture because it went viral. And the name of the photographer, I can say journalist, his name is Sam Zim. He made sure that he published this picture through the whole wide world. Yeah, again, it was sending a message through the whole world. So whatsoever that happened in Soweto, it mustn't happen globally through the whole wide world. Yeah. And then the one who survived, the sister of Hector Pieterson, this year, she's 65 years old and we call her Mama Antoinette Titolo.
She's still there.
Yeah, and she got married by the scholars. She used to work inside the museum because this building is named after the younger brother. But then as she retired, almost every day, they call her for those life testimony based on the history of what she felt actually, because she also didn't know what actually, how did like the younger brother been shot, you know. And then now I'm going to briefly give you the symbolic, so as you're going to like also plow it to the future generation, like Africa as a whole. This water is a symbol of the blood that was shed by the families who lost their loved ones during the 16th of June 1976. So as it flows down, as it flashes like this, the symbol of the tears that was shed by the families who lost their breadwinners. After that bridge, we say the water already washed away the blood and the tears. It's like we can forgive, but we won't forget what happened at the time. And then the gap in between the walls, that's missing information and untold stories. Then the walls, we call them the wall of the voice or the wall of emptiness. The stones are on this wall, different sizes of the stones, say the different ages of all those school children, because it was 15,000 school children who took part in that year of protesting, you know. And then the gap in between, it represents those children because 12,000 school children, they flee the country to neighboring countries again. So we don't know how many children did they manage to come back. In 1994, when Nelson Mandela was elected being a first black president. So hence we say, missing information and told stories of those children. The stones on this wall, again, we call them the slate stone.
The slate stone.
Slate stone.
Slate.
Yeah, it used to be an exercise book that we used for our parents, although it's easy to break. But the combination of these stones, the symbol of unity, strength, solidarity of the students during the 16th of June 1976. And then, this memorial stone, Dr. Nelson Mandela unveiled it on the 16th of June 1992, erected by the ANC Youth League. And he said, actually, here is based on all those students who felt their life. Hence, the message came through Dr. Nelson Mandela. He said, in memory of Hector Pieterson and all those young heroes and heroines who laid down their life in a struggle for freedom, peace, and democracy. And now the trees, we call them an African olive tree. These trees, as they were planted as a symbol of peace. Because again, in 1994, as we got that freedom, Nelson Mandela said, peace in our land. Never and never and never again shall be the oppression of the oppressors. It must be now like this: 50-50, equality, unity in diversity. Maybe I'm white, you black, you from international. We must be united like Rainbow Nation colors. I'm a colored, I'm an Indian, I'm black, I'm white. We all. And then the first tree, which was planted by Nelson Mandela. The second one, Archbishop Desmond Tutu. The third one, the former president of America, Bill Clinton, came to plant the tree. Then the other trees, they were planted by the community and the contract to be serving peace. And then we've got the message that came through the mother of that gentleman who picked up Hector, because since like today, we don't know what happened to him, whether he's still alive. So let's just go further here. Small, small, yeah. Or medium. Okay, here we've got the message that came to Mama Mbuisa Makubo on the 16th of June. Yeah, actually not on the 16th of June, the year 2002. So, Mama Mbuisa Makubo, as the photographers and journalists, they confronted her. She said, Mbuisa, he was my son, but he's not a hero in our culture, picking up Hector, and was not an act of heroism. It was his job as a brother, like brotherhood. Because if you left him on the ground and somebody saw him jumping over Hector, he will never. Yeah, so yeah, this is the important message that came through from the heart of that mother, that gentleman. Yeah, and then the mother, she passed away, I think, 3 years later. It was the year 2005. That's when they said, to honor actually again and to say in memory. This primary school with blue and white color, there's a primary school. It's been named after this gentleman. We call it Mbuisa Makubu Primary School. And then Hector, as he became the youngest, whom he got shot, but he's not the first victim. So the first victim got shot. His name is Hastings Jovo. So you see the street, when you go down, before you approach traffic lights, on the left, there's a bridge where he got shot by the snipers. Because by the time, police, they didn't even want to see any school children passing or wearing a school uniform. Because how cruel, how brutality by the time they were. So as he got shot by the snipers, there on the second bench, got the message that came through his father by the name of Elliot Ndlovu. Because he said the pain of losing him, it was there and it dates with the time. But already a lot has been done in such a short space of time, and all those who passed away their lives, including my son, were not lost in vain. Then lastly, we've got this line with the small trees and flowers. You see, it points straight to enter to the museum. When you travel with the street, it joins with those olive trees. It points again straight to where Hector said he got shot at Corner Street and Emma Street. Am I clear? Any question?
So I wanted to know, the museum was just dedicated for Hector here.
You know why?
What didn't happen here?
Actually,
the uprising didn't happen.
It happened at Corner Street and Emma Street.
But this street.
You see when you jump across the street, you go straight on the stop sign. You jump across Little Beach. On the right, there's a high school, Orlando West High School. That's where every shooting started. The confrontation, because on those 15,000 school children, that's where you'll find that they were confronted by 20 police, if you still remember, because one of the police, he drew a line, the student, if you're going to jump across the line, we shoot to kill, got a license to kill. Student, they thought, no, you know what, maybe they just joking, stuff like that, but they've said it in African, so for the students, they couldn't understand. They thought maybe they'll give them that to take them to Orlando West.
And Hector wasn't the first person to cross the line.
No.
So why did he shoot him?
The photographer, the journalist, took this picture. Is exactly the point where he got shot as he picked him up. So they've used Emma Street. Hence the street now called Hector Central, because they're rushing again to the nearest and the local clinic at the back of the primary school. So the arrival, doctors when they check, they say, already the doctor said, he got shot and died at that corner. As there was the clash between police and student. And then another question,
I think that will be all.
how was the informative information you have to address to you?
Uh,
Yes,
yeah.
600 students they died. Others,
600?
yeah, others, hence others will say, they will call them the unknown.
Alright.
Because inside the museum, we've got stones.
So was it after did they cross the line and then the police started
Firing, yes.
Yo guys, you've heard a lot. On that day, it wasn't only Hector Pieterson who got shot. 600 students, some were injured, some also died. I didn't know all this until I paid a visit here for this gentleman to tell me all. So if you are there and you are watching and you got a question, you can leave it on the comment section. And if you are here in South Africa, you have the privilege to also pay a visit to the Hector Pieterson Museum and witness something for yourself. Are we allowed to go inside?
No, you know, when it comes to the museum, there's fees that you have to pay to get inside the museum.
Alright. And what are the things inside the museum?
Videos, pictures on the blackboards, it tells you the time when everything started, about the history of the student, and then about Soweto Uprising, about the history of Steve Biko, Zephanian Chuping, Walter Student, the others. And then the live ammunition that was used by police and other students.
They're all kept
Yeah, yes. And then the placards again that they were kept back the time, you know, that were kept by the student.
What are the black cats?
Placards, it's like sort of like a, maybe like sort of like a board,
Yeah.
you know, or maybe what can I say? Yeah, it's written.
Protest.
Yeah, it's written.
Alright.
To hell with Africans. Africans must be demolished. It's an oppressor's language. And then there's an antique deed of a trust bill, a source of shield that was used by the students. As the police started firing at them, others they're using that
Shield.
as a source of shield and picking stones,
So
they're
they're
firing
all
back.
kept in the museum.
Yes.
Yo guys, you can also pay a visit to the Hector Pieterson Museum. All this happened in Soweto. It all happened in Soweto. You know, when it comes to South African history and the uprising of South Africa, it started here in Soweto. South Africa has Soweto has a lot of South African history. I thought we were done, but my brother here says he got something for us on the channel and for our viewers out there. Yeah.
All right. For more informative information, actually, you have to also to visit Apartheid Museum.
Apartheid Museum.
Yeah, that's the one. It tells you everything about the Soweto Uprising, the student protesting that march, actually, how it made so to be like shaken. It started everything, you know.
Where is Apartheid Museum?
It's there by Gold Reef City.
Gold Reef City.
Yeah.
All right. So we will be paying a visit to Gold Reef City very soon. If you are watching, stay tuned. Maybe on our next episode, we'll be going to Apartheid Museum. Thank you, this gentleman, for letting us know that information. I didn't know there was something like that. So now, I got to know from him. So we'll be paying a visit there too. So you catch us on the next episode. Thank you. Thank you very much. My name is Ben. It was nice having you on the YouTube channel.
All right. And then my name is Tumelo.
Melo.
Yeah, but let me say my nickname, they call me Posca.
Posca. Okay. It was nice talking to Posca. He was our tour guide today. He showed us a bit around. He told us a little bit about Hector Pieterson, and we have been educated on that. Thank you.
All right.
So we managed to pay a visit and we grabbed some videos for you by a local telling us more about what happened on that day at the uprising of Soweto. Yeah, but unfortunately we couldn't go inside. Yeah, because if you are to go inside the museum, you will pay some amount of fee, and if you want to make a video inside, it also has an amount of fee that you pay. So due to that, I didn't want to go because I can't do a video for my audience, so I decided not to go. But I hope what the local told us about Hector Pieterson on what happened at the uprising of Soweto in South Africa, I hope it has been a lesson learned to all of us guys. So yeah, unfortunately we couldn't go inside because there are some amount of money that they charge when you make a video. and it will be wasteful if I go there and then I don't get video for my audience. Yeah, so we're still in Soweto, we're still checking around. Yeah, few hours to go, but I mean we'll try and then catch up with some other places.